What's up everyone, Darcblade here with a beginner's guide to the multiplayer in Dragon Age Inquisition. New to the Dragon Age franchise, the multiplayer puts players into small co-op teams of 4, with players assuming the roles of various Inquisition agents. The multiplayer consists of players tackling various dungeons based on the areas from the Dragon Age world. Each dungeon is divided into 5 areas that players have to tackle. These areas will also be slightly different each time you tackle them. While you travel through these dungeon areas, you may encounter events. These events also yield more gold than just normal rooms. Currently, the events consist of protecting an Inquisition agent, retrieving valuable items, and assassinating a dangerous enemy. Now if your team manages to make it through to the last room, then you get to make a stand against a horde of enemies, including an enemy commander or boss. Once you've actually managed to kill all enemies in this area, it will lead to the completion of the dungeon. This being said though, the multiplayer is not easy for new players. You really need to work as a team in order to succeed. Assigning roles is sometimes key to completing dungeons. There are 12 characters to choose from, and your choice may dictate the role you play. Picking one of the warrior classes normally means that you will be a tank or DPS. Being a tank means you hold enemies' attentions and protect the weaker members of the team. This I will refer to sometimes as holding aggro. Warriors also have the ability to generate guard, which is represented by plates of silver over your green health bar, basically allowing you to take more damage. Warriors also normally have the heaviest armor options, which adds to the warrior's survivability. If there are multiple warriors in the team, then other warriors can fill DPS roles nicely, especially the Reaver and the Qatari. DPS means damage dealing roles basically, or damage per second. Picking a rogue class normally means you will be playing as a DPS or support role. A DPS rogue is pretty simple, just deal as much damage as you can. A support role of the rogue normally involves debuffs, trapping and crowd controlling enemies. Lastly, if you pick a mage class, you will normally be a DPS or support role again. Again, DPS is straightforward, while support will normally involve debuffing, crowd control and so on. However, mages have more aspects that help support a team by keeping them alive via barrier, dispels and so on. As you make your way through the dungeons, you will find areas that can only be opened by a certain class. Barriers are opened by mages, crumbling walls are kicked down by warriors, and rogues will picklock doors. This is another reason to take a diverse team, as these rooms have either gold or items. Just watch out for the chests that trigger enemies. Now there are some other aspects players should be aware of when tackling multiplayer. Firstly, there are no direct healing abilities, thus no healer roles. Instead, your health can be regained in between dungeon zones via a health font, or via healing potions. Unfortunately, at the start of your multiplayer career, you can only take 2 health potions into each dungeon. Next, when speccing your character, be aware you can only have 4 abilities brought into the dungeons, so pick wisely. Unlike single player, pressing the button that allows a second lot of abilities does not work in multiplayer. In multiplayer, this page is used for potions and elixirs and so on. Lastly, the gold, loot and XP you gain as a team is shared between the whole group. The gold can be used to buy chests similar to Mass Effect 3 multiplayer's packs. Chests give you potions or items. Items can be used or broken down. Breaking down items allows you to make better ones, or even unlock new characters. Anyway, if you're a beginner, I hope you found this little guide helpful. Be sure to check back for more in-depth guides for the multiplayer characters, and until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you a beginner's guide to the Dragon Age Inquisition multiplayer. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.